I'll just record it now. I'm just recording in progress. Here we go. Good morning and welcome, Jean. We were just introducing ourselves to one another before we have our guest speakers speak. Do you want to tell us who you are and where you're from and what it is that you do?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Lise. My name is Jean Green. I'm in California, the capital, Sacramento. And what I do is I'm a storyteller. I'm a elementary podcast host, and I really love just telling stories and teaching workshops, teaching others how to develop their moments into stories. Um, was there something else? Let me see where I was from, what I do, and thank you for inviting me here, Lise.
Oh, no problem. It's a pleasure to have you out. And we usually do this once a month on first weekend of the month. And we start off usually with our song. So let me just grab it here. And then we'll get into our speaker who will speak to us. And usually the format is 5 minutes, but today we only have Tanya that joined us, so you can take a lot longer. And then what we can do is we can have more time for sharing as well. Okay, so here we go with the Wellness Revolution. Welcome, everyone.
The wellness revolution. There's a spark, a fire in our hearts, a calling to heal where the journey starts. Mind, body, spirit, together as one. A revolution rising like the morning sun. We've been searching for balance, seeking the light. Now we're stepping forward, ready to ignite. With every small change, the world will renew. Together we'll thrive. It begins with you. Join the wellness revolution. Let's rise today. Breaking the barriers, lighting the way. With resilience and love, we'll build something new. The wellness revolution starts with you. Every breath, every step brings us closer still to a life that's aligned with purpose and will. From stress to strength, from chaos to peace, in this revolution, wellness will increase. We're grounded in science, guided by care, creating a vision that we all can share. It's a holistic journey, a path to renew. Together we'll rise. It begins with you. Join the wellness revolution. Let's rise today. Breaking the barriers, lighting the way. With resilience and love, we'll build something new. The wellness revolution starts with you. Oh, the power of change is in your hands. Together we'll heal. Together we'll stand. This is our time. This is our call to rise above and give our all. Join the wellness revolution. Let's rise today. Breaking the barriers, lighting the way. With resilience and love, we'll build something new. The wellness revolution starts with you. So take the first step. Let your journey begin. With every small choice, a new life within. The wellness revolution is calling your name. Together we'll rise and never be the same.
There we go, ladies. So welcome, Tanya Paquette. We now will open up the stage for you. Tanya is all the way from Canada in the French-speaking province of Quebec. So welcome, welcome. Tell us who you are. You're gonna have, we can have you speak longer today, and just wing it.
I'll wing it because that's just what I do. And I'm better at winging it anyway. So, I'm Tanya. I'm 33 years old. I have a son that's 10 years old. I am I got my diploma, college degree in special care education. So, at first I went there because I had heard that they could work in rehab centers and stuff like that. And I really wanted to work with that clientele. But while doing my course, I went into some placements and I realized as an intern that I actually loved the domestic violence shelters. So I worked for them for like the past 5 years. And I mean, I did all of my placements over there. I did the external version, I did the internal version. So I was in the house with the women that were living there and teaching them how to find their power again. And then I did the external services, which was more to follow them at police stations, judges' appointments, or lawyers, and to make them feel better and confident. And sometimes we take the notes for them. So in that situation, they can just talk and don't have to worry about taking notes and being all over the place. So that really helps them. We also help them find apartments that are in their budget and in their needs. So if someone needs a 5 bedroom, we will contact housing and try to do all the steps to have a housing place for that family. Um, so we do that. We do budgeting. We do a bunch of things with them. It's basically to show them how to live all over again because exiting those kinds of relationship can be really hard. We deal mostly with women, but we've done some speaking with some men clubs that wanted to have some more perspective on the subject and their vision and what perhaps could be done. So we've met with them. We've met with the elder communities, with the teens in the schools. We're all over the place. We do a bunch of things. And right now we're renovating because we're starting a second program downstairs, which will be for people that have issues with drugs and prostitution or human trafficking. So that section will be a little bit more separate than the kids that are upstairs because they're dealing with different problematics. So we think it's better to offer services to the people that need them than to try to offer services for a family, for a woman that's not exactly in the same position. So that's what I do for work. Then I'm working on my own private practice at this time. So I'm going to do psychosocial evaluations and counseling. The clientele is about the same. I'm still going with the domestic violence, the drug abuse, the mental health issues. Particularly the eating disorders, everything that has to do with women-related problematic, but I will accept men too. We're doing the victim services that are paying for them to have therapy. They're actually paying us, so that way they don't end up having any costs. So we're going to be doing that. And we're also working at the same time on building all these therapeutic tools for the therapists and social workers and stuff like that that intervene and don't officially want to do the work themselves. They like to work with already done templates. So that is our goal on that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And you've been in your own practice. You're just getting started, you said?
Yeah, it's been 6 months. We're still in the process of the marketing right now, so that's another headache that I'm dealing with, but it's okay. We're getting through it. Um, Other than that, I mean, we're just getting started. So we're going to be doing online first, and then I gotten an office that I can rent out a few days a month to see people in person, and I will also offer some house calls. So I know some people are more are more comfortable with texting and emailing when they're not feeling so good. So that's another service that we're going to be offering too.
Wow. So like check-ins
Yes,
for
exactly.
people.
Because at the domestic violence shelter I work with, we're also a crisis line. So we deal with all kinds of crisis, especially homelessness. Um, we're kind of the first place they call. They try to have a place. We don't do, well, we didn't do homelessness before. Now we're going to be starting to do that with the new program, but we're just still dealing with the renovations on the house. So once
Wow.
that's done, we'll move on with that.
It sounds like a one-stop kind of shop for a woman escaping violence, now expanding into the homelessness. Um, do you have any techniques or what's one piece of advice you would give to a woman that's really thinking of leaving an abusive partner?
I would say there's no perfect timing. Being a domestic violence victim myself, survivor, I rather survivor than victim. Um, I think that what we really need when we want to leave is to know that there's no perfect time because we always think, well, right now it's not time. The kids have this. He's got this big thing at work, and I've got this big thing going on, and there's never going to be a good moment and it's always going to get worse. So the longer you stay, it's always going to get worse. So you just have to pack up and leave, but maybe think about it first. Make sure you've got your stuff in order. Contact the right people that can help you, that know what you're doing, that been there. I mean, that's the precious step that they love to have is calling us and knowing that we've been through it and that we know what to do, what not to do because leaving with the kids sometimes is a heartache that is something else because they don't know exactly how to deal with the dad. Are they gonna go? Are they gonna be called the cops on them, or are they gonna be stuck in problems because they left with the kids? So we tend to help them with that and the whole steps that they have to take to leave. So there's steps. Sometimes you can't follow them. Sometimes you can.
Hmm.
Every situation is different, so it's really to just contact the domestic violence shelter in your area. They mostly all do it, so and I know there's websites too that I could probably send you after to help with the other people that need it. There's some all over Canada, really. So it's really impressive to see how much women come up for each other and help each other lift them up. So
Thank you so much for sharing. Such a needed service. Anybody else have questions?
I just love the idea, Tanya, what you're doing. Oh my gosh. Because it's a special person to do this, and the vision you have in such a young age is amazing. My sister comes from domestic violence situation, so I understand it's like the safety stuff. What do you have safety and plan? Do you have all the social security cards, everything that you need for the kiddos to take? And so I've walked that journey with her, and it was scary, very scary. But it's been over 20 years now, and she's safe, and the boys are safe. They're growing, and doing very well. But I like it that you have that opportunity for your own home. You're opening your home, it sounds like, to
mhm.
people. And it's like, oh, and I was a victim advocate back in the day for the police department. And we know it can take what 6 or 7 times for them to leave.
Sometimes is the average, but honestly, my personal part, it was more like 45. So, I mean, it's really different for everyone. I've seen women get out one time, they're all out and they're all into it. And sometimes it takes them 100 times, and it's okay. We take them back. And here we like to rent, especially to women that are in heartache situation that need help with their kids and stuff like that. So we don't rent out the apartments to just anyone. So that's why we switched over the idea of an Airbnb to be more helpful to the community. So yeah, we're really enjoying that.
I like that. And then when
Fantastic.
you have your topic too is rebuilding yourself after the storm, and
Yep.
he the power and continuing coming home to you. I love that title. It's like, how do you do that? How do you help these women to get to that point?
Well, because when you escape, and I mean, I'm talking from my perspective and from the perspective that I've getting gotten at work. most of the years that I've been there. It's basically that sometimes you escape that and you don't even know who you are anymore. It's like you don't even exist. You're a shell, you're a ghost, you're just there, you're surviving. So it's really important for them to learn to find themselves again before they start to take back their lives, because what are you going to take back if you don't know where you're going and what you're doing and how you want to do it? I mean, when you get out of a relationship like that, you don't have any goals. Your goals is just to survive and to, I mean, just put a roof over your head, a safe roof over your head, him not finding you or her not finding you. So, I mean, the priorities are really, really different than what we're at right now with me, right? So I'm more in the process of working towards my top of Maslow's pyramid. But I mean, some people are still at the bottom where we got to teach them how to eat, how to sleep, how to regulate, how to deal with their emotions. And once that's done, then we can work on their personality coming back. And the one that was there before is not going to come back. She's gone and it's okay because you can let go. But at this point, they want to find the girl they were before, and that's perfectly reasonable. So we help them do that, but we put in consideration that things have changed. Some things have damaged some of your likings or, I mean, tastes in something, and that's normal. So what we're going to do now is find what pleases you now, today. What makes you happy? Is there something that makes you less stress? If that's the only thing we can find, that's what we'll do. And then from there, they usually start activities and see, oh, that's not for me. I'm really bored in that. Or, oh, I really like going for the painting night at the restaurant the other night. So see, they're just finding themselves, and that's the whole process. And I mean, we do that when we're a teenager, and I mean, it's hell. So imagine in adulthood. Once you think your life is all picture perfect and it's not, it's kind of hard to bounce back from that. So
Hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm just like excited for you for what you're doing.
thank you. I'm excited too. I'm in this momentum, so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. And then coming, from my world as a probation officer and seeing this, and I work with the people that are, they are the defendants of the, and stuff like that. And just like, oh, wow. And having those services for the victims, the survivors too, is amazing. Oh,
Well, I mean, they need resources for the men too, right? I mean, probation officer is good, but I mean, it's not everything. They need the therapy too, and most of them won't go, right? Because they're ashamed they've lived it. So, on either side, if they're a victim or if they're the abuser, they're ashamed. So, and the man that's ashamed and the ego that comes with, we all know what it goes like. It might not come up to something. They need the right encouragements, but women were a little bit easier on that. So maybe that's why I have an easier part, maybe. But
Hmm.
I'm open to working with men services and any kind of thing. Right now, we're dealing with the women, and if they decide to stay, because we don't judge them, if they decide to stay, we'll give them the resources for the men as well. Some programs are coming to life, but I mean, it's very slow, it's very small. We're waiting for bigger, better times, but I think it's coming.
good.
Great. Do you offer services online, like for people that are from the States or?
Yeah, I will be offering I'll be offering a few packages. So there's going to be counseling, there's going to be some workshops, there's going to be some classes, some courses. I mean, I have BPD, which is borderline personality disorder, which is not uncommon to have a relationship between a narcissist and a BPD. Um, so, I mean, I've been dealing with that a lot. And I mean, grabbing a hold on my emotions was a journey. So, I mean, I want to help other people do the same because I think it feels hopeless when you get your diagnosis and you just think you can't get better because there's no medication, there's no guarantee that you're going to be better. And I think it's important to send them people hope. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
I know you had put in your introduction though too that you would do like a nervous system grounding exercise. I'm
Yeah.
curious about that.
So, what we do is that we usually I used to have panic attacks a lot. So what you do is that you find a list of things that you want to do, from the hardest to the easiest. So, I mean, it's usually, it comes to mind really easier to go with the hard stuff first, right? So you'll be like, okay, I have to paint the garage door. Okay, so you write that down. Then you write whatever else is coming down. And usually it comes down to little things after a while, right? So you've got the little things down and then the big things up. And then you just go with highlighters and you pick a color for each one. So which one is urgent, which one isn't, which one has to be done, but you don't really want to do. And then what you do is you start a timer and you tell yourself, okay, I've got 5 minutes to relax before I do this task because this task is hard for me. And then you ground yourself for 5 minutes. You take in some deep breaths. And I like to do the cardiac coherence. I think, I'm not sure of the English word, but it's the little bubble that goes up and down, and you just follow it with your breath. So I do that for 5 minutes, and then I'll do the task that I really hate to do, and I'll put a timer on for 2 minutes. Once the 2 minutes is over, if you're still into it and it's not that hard and you can push yourself harder, you keep going, you put another 2 minutes. And that way you get your task done even though you hate it. And you give yourself some time to be afraid and not wanting to do it and procrastinate. You want to take your 5 minutes of breathing to be like, I hate this thing, I really don't want to do it. It's not going to help your brain to be all negative. But if you want to get it out, I mean, that's the perfect way to do it. And I mean, your nervous system needs to get it out that it hates it, but it's still going to do it. Like, I hate cooking, but I need to eat. So I'll cook because after that I get to have a chocolate mousse. It's reward process that you do for yourself. And I think it helps to take some things off your mind. Because I mean, that to-do list that we have in our head that keeps turning around and just keeps getting confusing. Sometimes it's really important to put it down. And I mean, the things that are not urgent, you can push back. And that's okay to give yourself the right to push back some things if you're not ready for them. And it's just a gentle process with yourself. So that puts a lot less stress on you than just listening to your mind going, oh, I should be doing this. Oh, I should be doing this. And then you start washing the dishes, then you load the laundry, and then you're in the garbage section and you don't even remember why. So, I mean, it makes sense to just break everything down step by step, like I would do anything else.
Fantastic. Anyone else have any questions? I think that that skill set of being able to ground yourself that way and to get activities done is really critical, especially if a person has these difficulties with focusing and getting stuff done that they don't like to do. So I appreciate you sharing that tip with us because I think, at some points we can all use those kind of grounding mechanisms in order to get our tasks done in our work, in our daily habits.
Yes, and you don't just have to put boring tasks on them, right? You can put a nice one like
Yeah.
go eat ice cream, and then you're like, oh, I'm at that point, so I'll take 5 minutes to be happy that I'm going for ice cream instead of
Hmm.
being just like, oh, well, I got to do this and I don't really want to do it, right? So
Hmm.
I like the list process because I like to put some stuff that I like to do. So that way it makes my day easier and I get to do some stuff that I like to do. And when you take care of yourself, then you're better off to take care of everyone else, right? So,
Fantastic. Really good comments there for sure.
thank
Well,
you.
well, I also think that what you're really saying that it's like we all need to do that is really just really it's our time management, what we're really doing for ourselves and what we're going to do with that, and just doing that. It's what is it, time management, but it's also that inner voice. Too much information and too much out there. It is really with that breath work and just listening in and just say, what will I do next? What will I do next? So I just really feel that we're all the same, and
Exactly. And it
we're
gives you
not
time
there.
to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you time to acknowledge how you feel and to take yourself into consideration in everything you do because we all have stuff to do that we don't want to do, and we all have stuff to do that we should be doing for ourselves that we don't do. So that's why I like to plan it in That way I know I'm getting my self-care. I have this morning routine and the evening routine too. I mean, they're now rituals because I have to do them to have a good day. And that's fine. And if my routine gets bothered, then yes, I am bothered for the rest of the day. So I will try to put whatever's left on my list in my to-do list. That way I still get to take care of me. And it's in my schedule, so I have to do it.
Fantastic. So Suzanne, so you were talking about breath work. Do you do specific exercise in order to have that inner dialogue?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, even just part of with just before you wake up, just laying on the bed is just really kind of breathe in and breathe out, and you just can feel your whole body. And then it is really um, speak to every part of your eyes, your ears, and you actually go down to your shoulders and your heart and your intestines and everything. So in a way, it's really connecting. And then even just doing some stretches and say, okay, what am I really positive about? Um, what's making me so happy, and what am I going to do next? And so then you hop out of bed, and then you just can kind of go on with your day, kind of going, okay, I'm ready to start my day, so it's just little things.
Thank you so much for sharing.
That's useful. We need that because I was doing the bubbles, but now that's going to become part of my morning routine, I think. That little 2 minutes where I'm allowed to be happy and feel my body. Gonna add that.
Tune in.
Yeah. I love that, Suzanne, because it's like that's work. Because what I do is I do the stretching before I get out of bed. Is like I stretch my legs up and then I do the circles like to help with my hips. And then, you rotate 5 one way and 5 the other way for both legs.
Yeah. Knees this way, knees that way when you're laying in bed, and out and down, and just kind of, it's just like letting because we're our soul, we're our spirit, but we have this body that's going to carry that message out there. So you just have to really make sure, okay, we're connected, and now let's go.
Being that you're talking about fitness, I'm going to jump in because that's what I do. I do 5 minutes of fitness every morning, and I'm working on reaching out all the busy professional remote workers who say they do not have time to exercise. So many people say I do not have time, but I say you are enough and love yourself enough to do the first 5 minutes of your day to exercise. I've been doing a 5 minute fitness routine for 15 years. And except for Sunday, I give my body rest time on Sunday. So that's important because if you don't have your health, like she said, you can't help anyone else. You have to be healthy to be able to do what you want to do in life. So start your day with the first 5 minutes. And I have different 5 minutes fitness routine that I say you do at noon. You have a lunch break, take 5 minutes. Say, oh, I love myself. I'm gonna take 5 minutes for lunch and do your 5 minutes. And then there's other 5 minutes. And each 5 minutes, I make sure that I put in all of the fitness component, your stretching, your breathing, your also your endurance and cardiovascular fitness. That's important, very, very important, because without your heart functioning properly, then hey, everything will go whack. So that's what I work with and instill in people to love yourself enough to put yourself first and exercise.
Fantastic. Anybody else have any tips for living their best life? Jean, what do you do for yourself?
I do the stretching before I get out of bed, but because I have some back problems, I use the bands to do exercise, and I usually do it in the evenings because that's when I'm at my best. Mornings, I'm not very good at doing exercise after I get out of bed, but in the evening I do the bands, as well as I have like 3, 5, and 10 pound weights that I do, and it's all recommended by my chiropractor. So that's kind of what I do. And what I do that's not good for myself is I bake cookies and cakes, and I eat too many of them, but I share them with my grandkids. So
One thing I could say as well, it's important on how you get out of bed. So that could really make your day or break your day. So it's advisable to turn to your side and push yourself up from the side when you get up, because you can damage your back or muscle in your back the way you get up in the morning as well. So you have to be mindful as how you get up, the position of your body, how you get up in the morning.
I just wanted to share something that I do when I go swimming. And there's a little mantra that I tell myself is I'm healed, I'm happy, and I'm wealthy. I'm healed, I'm happy, and I'm wealthy. And I do that over and over and over again. And even when I feel like I'm getting ill, I'm healthy, I'm healed, I healed. And wherever it is that it's painful in the body or whatever I'm struggling with, I keep saying that to myself because the mind helps to heal the body. It goes to those cellular places and it kind of like listens. So it kind of follows along with the unconscious to the conscious, and it goes into that those messages of healing. And it's really an in-depth conversation that you have with your cells of your body, because we're constantly building new cells on a day-to-day basis. So it's so important that self-talk. I am healed. I am happy. I am wealthy. I am holistically vibrating at the highest vibration to the universe. And they said that I've heard this analogy of talking to plants. If you put really like powerful music on and like rock and roll and heavy duty, and then you put the symphony music, well, which one does the plant usually thrive in? It's the symphony music, that kind of positive affirmations. It's the quietness, it's the healing, it's the vibrations that we give it, like talk to it with love. And they found that the plants grew much better. Like I talk to my plants all the time in my garden, and it's growing phenomenally. Like, woo, I come back from my holidays and whoa, I got deals like this. And it's incredible that we have this symbiotic relationship, not only with us, but, our plant people is what I call them, and our tree family, because it's all interconnected with our wellness pathways. Even like if you have a pet, when you pet the dog or pet a cat, it does something to our dopamine systems. It makes us feel so good because we're able to connect to another being, and they respond. They look at you, the little dogs and stuff like that, or even a cat. Meow. It's just kind of like it helps us. They're like our little healers too. So we get our medicines from all types of places. So remember, as human beings, we are holistic, and we can really thrive well in those kind of environments when we utilize all these different components to healing. And I know that it's helped me, especially when I was going through grief. I went through family violence too. I used to facilitate a lot of women going through the courts, telling their stories when I was working with the city of Edmonton. And but I found that these other activities really helped me to ground, even going for a walk in the bush, even sitting in the waters, like the river yesterday was just phenomenal. I felt thank you to the universe for all this wonder, because this is medicine. We are medicine to each other and the environments that we live in. So I think that's what this wellness revolution is all about, is that accessing all those portals to change really helps the vibrations of our potential to be the best that we can be every day. So with that, I hand it off to my counterpart, Randy Joe. If anybody else has any other comments before we close down for today, please let us know.
I just like, oh my gosh, I love this impromptu today. It's just been amazing. And everybody has something to share. And that's what I love. And it's like we're all in this together. And like Lisa was just saying, we are medicine to ourselves, right? And to the universe and wherever it is. And the nature, like this morning, I went in outside and I just sat there in the sun for 10, 15 minutes just to absorb it and to listen to the birds. And it was so nice just to get out and do that kind of stuff. So every month we come and do this series. It's like I learned something new. I have another nugget or a tool to put in my toolbox to help me so that I can help others. And it's like I don't keep it, I share it. And that's what I just love about this series that we do once a month. And I want to say thank you everybody for coming here today and giving your all and just sharing your stories. It's just been amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that even for you, Tanya, if you can have your support group to say, okay, we're just going to meet either online or in a group if we're close to each other. And it's like a healing time that you can really just create, because just like Lise and Randy Joe for putting us together, what better way do we have today on Saturday to start our day? So it's just really doing that with your girls there. And I just think, what will I do with my next step? So thank you very much for putting us all together. Really wonderful.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any comments?
Well,
I
I wanted to thank you guys for receiving me today. It was a nice time that I had with you girls. And I mean, it was amazing to hear all of you just explaining what you do with passion, and it was inspiring. Thank you.
Welcome to our community. We're happy to have you.
Thank
And
you.
I want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing. And Tanya, thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing, because it's very important. Because I come from a domestic household with my parents. I lived with that all of my life. And I understand about the parents who do not want to separate, because I remember at times we had asked my mother to leave, but there was nowhere to go. And she got angry with us and she left the whole family for a little while, but then she returned. So it's a struggle when you have the domestic violence in the home, but we learn to deal with it. But one thing I've always was sensitive enough, I suppose, to know to understand her side of it. And they were uneducated, and I just would always pray for them. And I was also very happy at a young age. Even though we were going through that, I kept this happy spirit. And I just kept saying, I know what I want in life, and kept going. And sometimes she used to tell me, stop dreaming. You'll never get there. When I used to tell her I'm going to New York, she said, stop dreaming. You'll never get there because it's far away. But I kept dreaming. And I didn't even know until I was started with the education process that some people didn't love themselves. And I thought that was, oh my God, how could you not love yourself? So
Mhm.
my thing is continue to love yourself and do what it takes to keep yourself happy and healthy. And that's important. So take care. And I'm very happy of the work that you're doing.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very touched. Very good advice. I'll follow it for sure.
Jean, did you want to say anything?
This have really been educational first time I've joined, and each time I think I'm going to, but listening to your conversation on the domestic violence. Now, I can say that I'm blessed and I did not grow up into that, but I did have family members who went through domestic violence, and there was a lot of it. But my what I kept going through my mind was, do children of domestic violent parents grow up to get into a domestic violence situation and that process continue on? Or do they, like Dr. Virgie said, she knew what she wanted, so chose not to be that. But does that carry through from a child?
It it does in one way or another. I mean, my parents were domestic violence too. It was the opposite way around though. My mother was the violent with my father, and so I never saw it like that, right? Because that's not the picture perfect that we have about it. So, but when I was myself into a relationship, I got myself into one, and I was on the side of the victim that time because I just didn't think it was happening. I didn't think it was possible. And for me, it was a very hard realization to be like, okay, I followed the footsteps of my dad. And I mean, now he's dead. He died, well, 2 months ago. And I mean, I think it's the best thing that happened to him was that he could leave because he stayed with my mom. And I mean, it wasn't a great dynamic. It didn't show us great things. I mean, I was on the victim side, my brother's on the abuser side. So I would like to say that does not change anything. And I mean, you can have the willpower and you can be lucky and just go stronger than anyone else. Of course, it's a choice. It comes down to a choice. So, and it's a choice I did not make that got me there, and it's a choice he made that got him there. So it's a choice either way. You either make it or you don't, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to find yourself before it finds you.
I think the children in my family were blessed in the fact that they did not get into the domestic violence thing because my mother had 11 children. I'm the third of 11, and none of the children lived in a domestic violence situation after they move on into adulthood. And for me, I had promised myself that I would never live that kind of life that my mother and father was going through. And for that reason, I said I would get an education and nobody was going to stop me from doing that once I decided I was smart enough to go to college, and said that I would never, ever let a man hit me. And if he did, he was going to go to jail. And every time I dated someone, I told them this: I'm precious, don't touch me, or you're going to jail. I would let them know that. And I guess because of that, because I wanted to make sure that I had the right partner, I didn't get married until I was 48, and that was by choice.
I think that's a
Good for
good
you.
choice.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of people like what I found that a lot of people that become nurses or social workers, we're all dealing with some form of uh, something that happened in our lives that triggered us to become who we are. And sometimes it's escaping the realities of domestic violence or sexual abuse or different types of abuses. And essentially, people are saving themselves by going through these courses. And I can say, attest to that for myself. And after being in the profession for 36 years, my goal was to work through my own sexual abuse issues and also some of the family violence issues that I went through. And basically, I did it. I did save myself from myself because the biggest perpetrators in our lives, it's not the
Mhm.
other people, it's ourselves. We're the ones who keep putting ourselves in these situations, and we can walk through those. So, Yes, we can have violent perpetrators and stuff, but oftentimes the biggest violence we do is to ourselves by staying in and listening to that nasty voice that says, you don't deserve better, but you do. So there's two sides to every person, and we have to listen to the one that really helps to be the therapeutic and see the maximum potential. So I think that that's a really good medicine that I had when I went into ceremony for myself, because I found that blaming others was not looking at myself. I had to really look within to become my own rescuer of my own life. So those are some of the thoughts that I had, the last bits of thoughts regarding why people choose this profession and how many of us are escaping something.
Amen, sister. I know, because my dad was an alcoholic. And the reason I got to probation is to help if I could just save one person. Yeah. Couldn't save my dad.
It makes sense. I'm the same. I was in nursing first, and I knew I liked to take care of sick people. And then I decided that wasn't for me after the pandemic because, I mean, it was a pandemic. So why wouldn't I change my mind? And then being in social work and special care education just been amazing for me because I've been discovering so much more about myself. And I mean, that's how I noticed what I wanted to do and where I was going, because I did not know where I was going. So I kept getting myself into situations where I was going nowhere. So I think we have to really face ourselves. And sometimes that's very scary, but once that's done, I think it gets easier with time to just grow into the person that you have the potential to be.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you all enjoyed today very much. And I know I appreciate all of you. Woo! And thank you for tuning in. And as we close off today, we are each other's medicine. And remember that we got a beautiful dose of each other today. And thank you to our special guest, Tanya, for coming out and enlightening us with the power of you, of change and making a difference in women's in our lives. And for each woman that comes through that family violence, you're not only affecting yourself, but you're affecting a whole community, because women are often the nurturers of communities as well. So with that, thank you very much. And we'll go off into our song here, our closing off song. I'm just getting it to load up here.
Thank you, everyone. I want to just say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, thank you. Are you okay?
I am good.
The wellness revolution. There's a spark, a fire in our hearts, a calling to heal where the journey starts. Mind, body, spirit, together as one. A revolution rising like the morning sun. We've been searching for balance, seeking the light. Now we're stepping forward, ready to ignite. With every small change, the world will renew. Together we'll thrive. It begins with you. Join the wellness revolution. Let's rise today. Breaking the barriers, lighting the way. With resilience and love, we'll build something new. The wellness revolution starts with you. Every breath, every step brings us closer still to a life that's aligned with purpose and will. From stress to strength, from chaos to peace, in this revolution, wellness will increase. We're grounded in science, guided by care, creating a vision that we all can share. It's a holistic It begins with you. Join the wellness revolution. Let's rise today. Breaking the barriers, lighting the way. With resilience and love, we'll build something new. The wellness revolution starts with you. Oh, the power of change is in your hands. Together we'll heal. Together we'll stand. This is our time. This is our call to rise above and give our all. Join the wellness revolution. Let's rise today. Breaking the barriers, lighting the way. With resilience and love, we'll build something new. The wellness revolution starts with you. So take the first step. Let your journey begin. With every small choice, a new life within. The wellness revolution is calling your name. Together we'll rise and never be the same.
Thank you all for coming out today, and we'll see you next month.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.